The storm didn't begin suddenly. It crept in, slowly, like a silent warning no one could hear. The sky had been changing for hours. A deepening grey, a stillness in the air that felt wrong, the kind of quiet that doesn't mean peace. It means the world is preparing something. The mountains stood cold and indifferent, as if they had seen this story unfold 1,000 times before, as if they already knew how it would end. And somewhere within that endless white, a man was walking unaware that he was already at the edge of his limits, that the storm hadn't come to warn him. It had come to test him. He had chosen this path. No one forced him here. This was his decision, his mountain, his morning. He had stood at the trailhead in the early light, looked up at the ridge, and felt nothing but certainty. But now, every step felt like a mistake he could no longer undo. The path he had memorized was gone beneath the snow. The landmarks he had trusted had disappeared into the white. He was still moving, but he no longer knew where. The silence was unbearable, not peaceful, not calming, but heavy. The kind of silence that presses down on you, that reminds you how small you are, how far from everything, how completely, utterly alone. As if the world itself had abandoned him and hadn't looked back. The wind howled like something alive, cutting through his clothes, tearing at his skin. Not a force of nature anymore, something personal, something deliberate. His body trembled, not from fear, but from the cold that was slowly taking control. It had started with his fingers, then his feet. Now it was deeper, somewhere inside his chest, a cold that no jacket could reach. He thought about stopping. He knew he shouldn't. He kept walking, because stopping meant dying. One step, then another, that was all he could think about now. Not the summit, not the trail, not home, just one more step. Then the mountain made its decision. Not with a roar, not with warning. Mountains don't announce what they're about to do. His foot slipped. One moment of contact lost. One patch of ice beneath the snow that he couldn't see, couldn't feel, couldn't avoid. Just a small mistake. The kind anyone could make. The kind that on any other day, on any other mountain, would mean nothing. But in a place like this, at this height, in this cold, small mistakes are fatal. And he knew it. In the half-second before everything changed, he knew exactly what was happening. And he could do nothing. He reached out, grabbing at nothing. His hands found only air, only snow that gave way, only the mountain's indifference. For a moment, time slowed, the way it always does when the body understands, before the mind does, that something has gone terribly wrong. He saw the sky above him, white and vast and uncaring. He felt the ground leaving him. He thought of nothing important, just fragments. The way light looked this morning, the sound of wind, and in that moment, he realized something terrifying. No one knew exactly where he was. No one would reach him in time. No one was coming. He was completely, absolutely alone with what was about to happen. Gravity took him. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't hesitate. It simply takes. The world spun, snow, rock, sky, all blending into chaos, into something that had no up or down, no before or after, just motion and impact and the terrible sound of a body meeting the mountain. He couldn't count the falls within the fall, couldn't feel where he was hurt. The cold had already taken that from him. And then, silence. Complete, total. The kind of silence that follows violence, when everything that could happen has already happened. He lay there, staring into the storm, watching the snow fall toward him from above, as if the sky were slowly burying him. He told his body to move. His body did not answer. He tried again, a hand, a foot, anything, nothing. The cold was no longer outside. It was inside him now, in his lungs with every breath, in his blood, moving through him, patient, thorough, the way cold always works when it has time. He wasn't afraid anymore. That surprised him. He had expected fear, but what came instead was quiet. A strange, unwanted quiet. Slowly, without asking permission. It was taking everything. He wasn't alone anymore. He didn't hear it, didn't see it. There was no sound, no movement he could name, just a feeling, the feeling of being watched, somewhere in the white. Something had noticed him. Not the storm, not the mountain. Something alive. It stood at the edge of the visible world, where the blizzard swallowed everything, perfectly still, perfectly patient, watching from a distance, deciding. The shape moved through the snow, silent, precise, every step placed with a certainty he had lost hours ago. Not struggling like him, not fighting the mountain, not begging it for mercy, but moving through it the way water moves through stone, belonging to this world. This was its mountain, its storm, its cold, and it was moving toward him. Unhurried, inevitable, the way things move when they have already decided. He saw it through the snow, through the blur of cold in his eyes. He saw it clearly. A wolf, large, grey, real, more real than anything else on that mountain. And in that moment, everything became simple. No more fighting the cold, no more telling himself to move, no more bargaining with a body that had stopped listening. He understood. This wasn't rescue coming toward him through the storm. This was the end. The mountain hadn't abandoned him after all. It had simply sent something to finish it. The wolf stepped closer, each step deliberate, each step closing the distance between two worlds that were never supposed to meet. Its eyes locked on him and did not look away. Not with anger. Anger is a human thing. Not with hunger. Not with cruelty. Not with any of the things he had always imagined. In that abstract, comfortable way, people imagine danger when they are safely far from it. Just certainty. The certainty of something that has lived its whole life at the edge of survival. It had seen this before. A creature in the snow. Unable to move, running out of time. It understood this completely. What it would do next, he could not predict. Those eyes were not cruel. He had expected cruelty, had braced for it, had decided in the last seconds to accept it. But cruel was not what he found. Not merciless, not dark, just honest. The kind of honesty only nature has. No performance, no pretending, no story. It was telling itself about what it was doing and why, just a living thing, looking at another living thing and seeing it clearly. Survival or death, not a moral question, not a choice between good and evil. Just the oldest question the world knows how to ask. And he, lying in the snow, had no answer left to give. He couldn't fight. His hands had forgotten how. Couldn't run. His legs had surrendered long before this moment. Couldn't call for help. There was no one. There had never been anyone. He couldn't even close his eyes. Some part of him, some last stubborn fragment, refused to look away, wanted to see, wanted to witness whatever came next. So he just waited. The wolf was close now. He could see the steam of its breath, could hear the soft compression of snow beneath its paws. He waited for it to end, for the cold and the mountain and the storm to finally finish what they had started. Pain, sharp, sudden, cutting through the cold that had numbed everything else. Alive. The pain was alive in a way his own body no longer was. But not what he expected. He had expected violence, had expected the tearing, the ending, the thing he had been bracing for. It wasn't that. The grip was firm, powerful, certain, but it wasn't tearing him apart. It was pulling him, dragging him, moving him away from where he lay. Away from the place the snow had chosen for him. Away. He didn't understand. He couldn't understand. He was too cold to understand. But something in him, deeper than thought, older than reason, felt it. Something had changed. Through the snow, over the frozen ground, through the howling dark, the wolf dragged him. It was not easy. He was heavy. The snow was deep. The wind pushed back against them both. But the wolf did not stop, did not hesitate, did not release him. Not as prey. Prey you take to feed, prey you leave when you are done. This was something else. Something with intention. Something with direction. Something that felt almost like purpose. He watched the ground move beneath him. Snow, ice, rock, snow again. The storm raging above. And in the center of it all, this animal pulling him towards something he couldn't yet see. Something he couldn't understand. Something that perhaps he wasn't supposed to understand. Not yet. Then, a shadow in the storm. Not the white of snow, not the gray of sky. Something darker, something solid, something that did not move when the wind moved. A cave, a hollow in the mountain, deep enough to swallow the wind, narrow enough to keep the cold at the edges. Shelter. The wolf had brought him here, had known it was here, had known, perhaps for a long time, had chosen it, had chosen him. He crossed the threshold, and for the first time in hours, the wind stopped. The silence that followed was different from the silence of the storm. This silence was safe. Inside, the wind disappeared, as if a door had been closed between him and everything that had been trying to kill him. The silence changed. Not heavy now, not the silence of abandonment. Something warmer than that. Something that breathed. The wolf lay beside him, close, its body pressed against his, sharing warmth the way only living things can. Without condition, without negotiation, simply giving. He felt it move through him slowly. The warmth, finding the places the cold had claimed, filling them. He looked at the wolf beside him. It did not look back. Its eyes were half closed, its breathing slow and deep, as if this were the most natural thing in the world. Not a predator anymore. Something far more unexpected. Something the mountain, in all its coldness, in all its indifference, had somehow produced anyway. Time passed, slowly, quietly, the way time passes when the body is finally allowed to rest. Hours or minutes, he couldn't tell. The difference had stopped mattering. He drifted, not into darkness, but into something softer. The first real warmth he had felt since morning. And before he could open his eyes, before he could turn to look, before he could say anything, the wolf was gone. No sound of leaving, no farewell, just absence. The space beside him, still warm, but empty. As if it had never been there. As if the mountain had offered him something extraordinary, and then quietly taken it back. He woke up, slowly, the way you wake from something that wasn't quite sleep. Confused. For a moment he didn't know where he was, didn't know what had happened, didn't know if what he remembered was real. Then the cave walls, the still air, the light, different now, pale and thin, but there, alive. He was alive. The storm had ended, the mountain outside, white and silent, impossibly beautiful, as if nothing had happened, as if the night had been a dream. He looked at the space beside him, still warm, but empty. He pressed his hand against the ground where the wolf had lain. Something inside him had changed. He couldn't name it yet, couldn't find the words, but he knew, sitting in that cave, in the thin morning light, he would spend the rest of his life trying. He stood. It took time. His body argued with him. His legs were uncertain, his hands still slow, his breath still shallow and careful. But he stood, weak, but breathing, which was everything. He walked to the edge of the cave and looked out at the mountains. The same mountains that had tried to take him. The same white, the same cold, the same vast indifference. But he saw them differently now. Not as an enemy, not as something to conquer, or survive, or fear. As something he was part of. Something he had always been part of, and never understood, until last night. He took a breath of cold mountain air, clean, sharp, alive, and somewhere, far away, beyond the ridge, beyond the tree line, unseen. The wolf was moving through its world, not thinking of him, not remembering, just living, the way it always had. The way, now, the man knew that survival doesn't only come from human, sometimes it comes from what we fear the most.